Millions of people watched her smile through unimaginable hardship. She documented every stage of her battle with young-onset Alzheimer's, sharing the reality of a disease that slowly takes away memories, independence, and identity. Then, in July 2026, her followers received heartbreaking news. Rebecca Luna had died through Canada's Medical Assistance in Dying program, commonly known as MAID. Her final decision sparked an emotional debate around the world. Some called it an act of courage. Others questioned the ethics of assisted dying. But before people judged her final choice, many wanted to understand the journey that led to it. This is Rebecca Luna's story, based on publicly reported information and her own public statements. Who was Rebecca Luna? Rebecca Luna was a Canadian content creator whose videos reached thousands of people around the world. Unlike many influencers who focused on entertainment, fashion, or travel, Rebecca shared something deeply personal. She documented life with young-onset Alzheimer's disease. Her goal wasn't to go viral. It was to educate, to raise awareness, and to show what living with the disease was really like. Her videos were honest, sometimes emotional, sometimes hopeful, sometimes heartbreaking. She talked openly about the fear, confusion, and uncertainty that came with her diagnosis. For many families facing dementia, Rebecca became a voice they could relate to. A diagnosis that changed everything. Alzheimer's disease is commonly associated with older adults, but in rare cases, it develops much earlier in life. This is known as young-onset Alzheimer's disease. Receiving that diagnosis can be devastating. Many people are still working, raising families, and planning for the future when their lives suddenly change. Rebecca spoke publicly about those challenges. She described how everyday tasks became more difficult. Simple routines required more effort. Memory problems became more noticeable. Over time, she explained how the disease gradually affected nearly every part of daily life. Yet even while facing those struggles, she continued making videos. She wanted others to understand what Alzheimer's actually looked like, not just through medical textbooks, but through real life. Building a community. As Rebecca shared more of her journey, something remarkable happened. Her audience grew. People living with dementia found comfort in her honesty. Caregivers said her videos helped them better understand what their loved ones were experiencing. Medical professionals praised the awareness she was creating. Many followers thanked her for speaking openly about a condition that is often misunderstood. Her comment sections filled with messages of encouragement. Some viewers shared their own family stories. Others simply thanked her for helping reduce the stigma surrounding dementia. Rebecca wasn't just creating content. She was building a supportive community. Understanding MAID. As her illness progressed, Rebecca also spoke publicly about medical assistance in dying, often referred to as MAID. MAID is a legal medical process available in Canada under specific legal requirements. It allows eligible adults experiencing grievous and irremediable medical conditions to request medical assistance to end their lives. The process involves strict legal safeguards, medical assessments, and eligibility requirements established under Canadian law. Rebecca openly discussed why she was considering this option. She explained that Alzheimer's is a progressive disease. There is currently no cure. Symptoms typically worsen over time. She wanted to make her own decisions while she still had the capacity to do so. Her openness led to difficult but important conversations about autonomy, dignity, and end-of-life care. A difficult public conversation. Not everyone agreed with Rebecca's decision. Some supported her right to choose. Others opposed assisted dying for personal, ethical, or religious reasons. The discussions were often emotional. Despite the differing opinions, many people respected Rebecca for speaking honestly about an issue that many families struggle to discuss. She continued encouraging respectful dialogue. Rather than telling others what to believe, she simply shared her own experience and explained the reasons behind her personal decision. Her final months. As time passed, Rebecca continued documenting her journey. She spoke candidly about the progression of her illness and the impact it was having on her daily life. Followers noticed both her strength and the increasing challenges she faced. Even as her condition worsened, she remained committed to raising awareness about Alzheimer's disease. Her videos became not only personal updates, but also educational resources for people trying to understand the realities of dementia. Many supporters admired her courage in discussing topics that are often avoided. The news that broke hearts. In July 2026, Rebecca's family and loved ones shared the news that she had died through Canada's MAID program. The announcement deeply affected her online community. Thousands of followers left messages expressing gratitude for everything she had shared. Many said she had changed the way they viewed Alzheimer's disease. Others thanked her for helping them better understand what their own family members were experiencing. News organizations across Canada and beyond reported on her passing, highlighting both her advocacy and the national conversation surrounding MAID. Looking ahead, Rebecca Luna's story is about much more than her final decision. It is about living with a life-changing diagnosis, finding purpose through education, building a community during unimaginable circumstances, and starting conversations that many people find difficult to have. By the time Rebecca Luna's story reached international headlines, she had already changed countless lives. She wasn't known for chasing trends or creating viral challenges. Instead, she became one of the internet's most recognizable voices for Alzheimer's awareness. Her videos weren't just about illness. They were about living with dignity while facing an incurable disease, turning personal pain into public awareness. After her diagnosis, Rebecca made a decision that many people would find incredibly difficult. She chose to speak openly about what she was experiencing. Instead of hiding her symptoms, she used social media to educate others. She explained what memory loss felt like. She described the frustration of forgetting familiar things. She shared the emotional impact of knowing the disease would continue to progress. For many viewers, these weren't just videos. They were lessons in empathy. Thousands of people commented that Rebecca helped them understand Alzheimer's in a way that medical articles never could, helping families feel less alone. One of Rebecca's biggest impacts was on caregivers. Family members caring for loved ones with dementia often described feeling isolated. Many said Rebecca's videos reassured them that they weren't alone. Some recognized behaviors in their own parents or spouses after watching her explain her symptoms. Others thanked her for encouraging earlier conversations about diagnosis, planning, and support. Her platform became more than a social media account. It became a community where people could ask questions, share experiences, and support one another. Through incredibly difficult situations, understanding medical assistance in dying. As Rebecca's condition progressed, she spoke more openly about medical assistance in dying, commonly known as MAID. MAID is a legal medical option in Canada for eligible adults who meet strict legal and medical requirements. It is not a decision made overnight. Patients must undergo assessments by qualified healthcare professionals, meet eligibility criteria established by law, and provide informed consent. Rebecca explained that her decision was deeply personal. She emphasized that she was not telling others what choice they should make. Instead, she wanted people to understand why she believed it was the right decision for her own circumstances. Her honesty sparked conversations far beyond Canada. A nation divided. Rebecca's story quickly became part of a larger public discussion. Some people praised her courage. They believed everyone should have the right to make deeply personal medical decisions when facing a progressive and incurable illness. Others expressed moral, ethical, or religious objections to assisted dying. Many argued that society should focus more on expanding palliative care and support services. These discussions were often emotional, but Rebecca consistently encouraged respectful dialogue. She acknowledged that people would have different beliefs and asked that those conversations remain compassionate. The final announcement. When news of Rebecca's passing was shared, the response was immediate. Tributes flooded social media. Followers posted messages thanking her for everything she had taught them. Healthcare workers remembered her advocacy. Families affected by Alzheimer's shared how much her videos had meant during difficult times. For many people, Rebecca had become a symbol of honesty, resilience, and compassion. Her passing felt deeply personal to an audience that had followed her journey for years. The importance of accurate information. Whenever a public figure dies, misinformation often spreads quickly online. Some social media posts included inaccurate claims about Rebecca's illness or about Canada's MAID program. Others shared rumors that were never supported by evidence. It's important to separate verified information from speculation. Rebecca herself often encouraged education and understanding. Continuing that approach means relying on credible reporting and official information rather than internet rumors. A legacy beyond social media. Although many people first discovered Rebecca through TikTok, her impact extended far beyond one platform. She helped bring attention to young-onset Alzheimer's, a condition many people knew very little about. She encouraged families to have difficult conversations earlier. She reminded viewers that behind every diagnosis is a real person with hopes, fears, relationships, and dreams. Her willingness to share vulnerable moments created awareness that may continue helping others for years to come. Looking ahead, Rebecca Luna's story continues to spark discussions about medicine, ethics, personal choice, and compassion. Regardless of where people stand on assisted dying, many agree on one thing. Her openness helped people better understand the realities of Alzheimer's disease. Her voice started conversations that many families had never felt ready to have. Rebecca Luna's story wasn't about giving up. It was about facing one of the most devastating diseases a person can experience and choosing to face it openly. Through every video, every update, and every difficult conversation, she left behind something far greater than social media content. She left behind awareness, hope, and a legacy that continues to help people around the world. More than a content creator, for many people, Rebecca wasn't just another TikTok personality. She became an educator, an advocate, and a voice for thousands of families living with Alzheimer's disease. Her videos reached people who had never heard of young-onset Alzheimer's. Others finally understood what their loved ones had been experiencing. Some viewers even said her content encouraged them to seek medical advice earlier after recognizing similar symptoms in family members. That kind of impact can't be measured in views or followers. It changed lives. The reality of young-onset Alzheimer's. When most people hear the word Alzheimer's, they picture someone in their 70s or 80s. Rebecca challenged that assumption. Her story showed that dementia can affect people much younger. Young-onset Alzheimer's often interrupts careers, relationships, and future plans. Many people are still raising children, building businesses, or pursuing lifelong goals when they receive the diagnosis. The emotional impact can be overwhelming. By speaking openly about these realities, Rebecca helped reduce the stigma surrounding dementia. She reminded people that Alzheimer's isn't just about memory. It's about identity, independence, and the gradual changes that affect every part of life. Starting conversations that matter. One of Rebecca's greatest contributions was encouraging conversations that many families avoid. Talking about illness, planning for the future, making healthcare decisions, supporting caregivers. These discussions are never easy, but Rebecca believed that avoiding them made things even harder. Many healthcare professionals later praised the awareness her videos created. Families who had never discussed dementia found themselves having important conversations because of her courage. The worldwide response. News of Rebecca's passing quickly spread beyond Canada. People from around the world shared messages of gratitude. Some had followed her journey from the very beginning. Others discovered her story only after her death. Comments came from caregivers, doctors, nurses, social workers, and people living with dementia themselves. Many said Rebecca gave a face and a voice to an illness that is often misunderstood. Even those who disagreed with her final decision frequently expressed admiration for the honesty with which she shared her journey. Respecting different perspectives. Rebecca's story also reminded people that compassionate conversations are possible, even when opinions differ. Medical assistance in dying remains one of the most debated healthcare issues in many countries. People approach it from different perspectives. Medical, ethical, religious, legal, personal. Rebecca understood that not everyone would agree with her choice. She never demanded that others share her opinion. Instead, she asked people to understand her experience and to approach the conversation with empathy and respect. That message continues to resonate long after her passing. The human side of the story. When headlines focus on controversial topics, it's easy to forget the person at the center of the story. Rebecca was more than a diagnosis. She had dreams, relationships, a career, friends, and a life that extended far beyond social media. Her videos showed moments of laughter alongside moments of fear. They showed courage during uncertainty, and they reminded viewers that every person living with Alzheimer's deserves dignity, compassion, and understanding. Lessons we can learn. Rebecca's journey leaves behind several important lessons. Health can change unexpectedly. Honest conversations about serious illness matter. Caregivers need support. People facing life-changing diagnoses deserve compassion rather than judgment. And social media, when used responsibly, can become a powerful tool for education and awareness. Perhaps Rebecca's greatest achievement wasn't the number of followers she gained. It was the number of lives she helped. A legacy that lives on. Although Rebecca Luna is no longer here, her message continues through the videos she shared and the conversations she inspired. Her willingness to tell the truth about living with Alzheimer's helped countless people feel less alone. She transformed her personal struggle into a source of education and hope for others. For many families affected by dementia, that legacy will endure far beyond any social media platform. Final thoughts. Rebecca Luna's story is not simply about the end of a life. It is about how one person chose to spend her remaining time helping others understand an incredibly difficult disease. Whether people agree or disagree with her final medical decision, her courage in sharing her journey has left a lasting impact on patients, caregivers, healthcare professionals, and millions of viewers worldwide. If this documentary helped you better understand Rebecca's story, consider sharing it with someone who may benefit from learning more about young-onset Alzheimer's and the importance of supporting those living with dementia. What are your thoughts on Rebecca Luna's journey? Please keep the discussion respectful. If you have insights, personal experiences, or verified information you'd like to share, leave a comment below. Let's learn from one another with empathy and kindness.